Greetings everyone, it's Facebook, and welcome back to Banished. And now I know it's been a little bit since I last streamed. I apologize, I was actually on holiday and relaxing, and I tried to get some things ready for you guys, but I only had so much time. But I'm back now, and back to take stock of the season. We got the purpose, we got the blacksmith for some time to keep this. As you can see, the tool icon is up in and so right there it says Citizens 2000. So the blacksmith himself actually doesn't have a tool, so maybe he's making his own first. So he's making his tool, and we also have the mine too. And quickly, it is summer, and it is raining, and the peppers have caught up to the pumpkins. In fact, they've overtaken them. And the orchard is not yielding like I thought it would, but that's okay. And the gatherer is getting food, and the forester is planting or cutting. So, I don't know if you remember, I said that in the early autumn, I turn on the cutting, and I turn off the planting once the autumn hits, and then when early spring hits, I turn the planting back on, and when spring itself, full-on spring hits, I turn off the cutting. Whereas cutting goes on throughout the entire winter. And anyways, so we've been gathering stone and things like that. And I've been waiting to get enough stone because we need to start building more houses and things like that. But we do need to focus on resource gathering, and we need iron. And iron to make tools, and it takes iron to build these houses as well. So we're going to hold off on building houses until we have more iron when it comes to tools. And they're actually sorting here. Dropping off tools. Okay, so there's 2 iron tools, so people don't have tools. So hopefully that gets rid of that, although it's probably going to continue as tools start to break down slowly. So hopefully the blacksmith can catch up in terms of tools, and so this is the blacksmith. So he's going to find a tool. So he's going to pick one up, and the miner doesn't have a tool, is busy, so that's going to be it holding on. Reserve of tools slow. Right there, see if I can application list. I know. The reserve of tools is low. So let's take a look at the citizens here. So we got a 6-year-old there, so we're going to have another worker soon. And we got 2 workers there. And let's see here. So we only got looks like we only got 1 worker on the way. Soon. Which is fine. And eventually you do want to build a school, which slows down how quickly you get workers because they go and get educated. But educated workers actually they work faster. Now, you see all these people they got jobs now, and we could build a house for them, but the mod I have that modifies how long it takes for kids to age up, because they used to age every single time. No, someone's hungry. Makes the kids not move out until they're 15, and they don't have. Well, I think they move out I think they either move out at 15 or they can get married at 15. They don't have kids till they're 60. I know that. So they might be able to move out when they're 10 or something. But regardless, they won't. They'll stay where they are until there's a house built, and then the house will be split up. So anyway, so now the tool shortage is gone. Now we have to deal with the fact that there is not food. This guy so the peppers are getting harvested, so it's not going to be that big of a problem actually. So just in time. Pumpkins still have a ways to go. It rained a lot, and that's what worries me, because the pumpkins if they don't yield as well, we're going to have a problem. And you see the food icon is gone now. Yeah, what worries me is the pumpkins won't catch up. So the gatherer really is going to have to step up. The herbalist will have to step up and such. And so these pumpkins really need to grow. And there is thought about when this person becomes a worker, activating this field and having 2 crop fields to make up for the lack of things, because the pears, they still have not produced. And the problem is, though, with fishermen gatherers, every place except for, you know, like the woodcutter or the blacksmith, or some of the farms. I mean, you could, but there would be no reason to. Every place requires another worker. I mean, you could add another worker to the farms, but it really wouldn't, you know, it really wouldn't have any benefit. But like having more gatherers, having more herbalists, more miners, more foresters, more fishermen, you know, all those places could use another worker. You know, and then there are other places we have to build for workers. So what the aim to do now is to build a market somewhere, perhaps over here, and or not build it, maybe just place it, or maybe we'll place it over there, over in this area. I'm not sure. And build a town hall. Now, town hall takes a massive amount of resources, but a town hall, sooner rather than later, allows people to immigrate, nomads, to come and fill out your and help stimulate your population with new blood. Now, you need houses and you need food, so you need infrastructure for that. So you have to have a market not built, but placed, and but you have to have the town hall built. Now, market costs a ton of resources, and it's big. It's big. This is how big a market is. So we have to find a place over here to place it without it breaking. See, I don't know if we can place it really easily. A market is a centralized location. Wow. A market is a centralized place for resources to be placed and then bought, so to speak, or sold, I guess. And now you see the market has a circle, so it says where does it draw resources from. So if you put the market here, it says, okay, I'm going to draw resources from all those areas. Now, the storage barn is a really good place to have in that circle because that's where all the resources are put, that's where all the food is put, all the tools, everything, and it's got some of the main stockpiles in its circle, sphere of influence, which is good. The only problem is this market might block access because you can't put it anywhere else. I'm wondering why I can't put it where I can put it here, but not back here. And I think it's because there's that dip right there. But I could. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna pause this. I wonder though if I can put tabs around it. I think I can. I can. Some people can walk around. So perhaps having the market here is the best course of action. Now, it doesn't matter where the town hall is. You can build a town hall anywhere. It doesn't have any sphere of influence or something. It also takes a huge amount of resources. That's 124 stone right there. And town hall can be put anywhere. So you can put a town hall out in the middle of nowhere. Although you want to have it somewhat kind of close to your, to your town, because town hall is where nomads go when they first get there. They go to the town hall. They don't go there and stay there. They just go touch base, so to speak. I'm here, and then they go to work. So that's something to think. However, town hall looks like it might be a bit of a problem. And I did mention that we need to build a quarry to look into getting stone, and a quarry is hard to place. So it's like the quarry here. Now a quarry takes 40 iron, which we do not have. Now we have 24 tools, so we're getting to the point where we're going to have plenty of tools, and a quarry is something that we should build. The only problem with building it over here is that's really far away from the town, and you want to have it somewhat close to the town so people aren't basically almost being unable, because if it's too far away, then people will work there, but they won't be able to work for very long, so to speak, because they're going to be. But there is a thought that what if we put the quarry over? Let's see, zoom out here. Quarry. Put the quarry in a lot of places. Let's take a look at the forester range. That's the good forester. The forester in here, so you can just put the quarry down here, and I wonder if we could put it like this. So we could. and build those houses out over there, so that are close to the quarry somewhere. Right here. Okay. That is actually the perfect place. I just realized that is actually absolutely great. We can even turn off the cutting. Oh, time to turn it back on. Why we cut down all those trees? Actually, you can turn off the cutting for a while. Gosh, what does this take? 40 iron. Okay, that's not too bad. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get these houses built right here. And gosh, sorry, I'm just surprised I would have done that. And so once we get these houses built, once we got stockpile of iron and such, tools are flowing now, which is great, and they're now harvesting peas, which at harvest are 62 yield because the yield goes down. So they probably got better, which is great. It looks like you never put something in there. So, anyways, you got some fish. So, and the reason I went with the quarry, and is to get the stone rolling in, and the town hall, and hopefully through that town hall being built and things like that, we can finally start to do part of this need to be built. It just needs to be planned, which maybe it's a bit of a glitch, but it's very useful, but, so to speak, in terms of glitches. So, and we'll find a place for the town hall, but in order to build the town hall to get people coming, and to get the stone to build the town hall, one, we need somebody working at the quarry, which we'll probably have to wait on, but in order to do that, in order to have nomads coming, and in order to be able to put them to work, before that happens, we need to have a more, I guess, secure infrastructure. So we need to have everyone fed and no one going hungry, and no one missing out on tools, which we are remedying right now, even though he has no resources currently. Make tools because he has logs but no iron, so that would be fixed. Get some mining. 99% remaining, there you go. But, so regardless of that, so there's that, and then there's also the other things to think about. But right now, the idea is to get a more stable infrastructure going on. Get more people. Can actually have them come over here and grab some resources. Grab some iron, grab some stone. Actually, on second thought, I'm going to cancel that right now. It's not always unwise to build another bridge nearby. So if you feel you grab and bridge, you don't want to build too far away from town, but if you can do it right here. So we'll have two people do that. So, anyways, okay. Well, actually, yeah, I don't know why that went away. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build another bridge over there, and then we're gonna start gathering resources from this area. So we're gonna augment our mine by getting some iron, and we're gonna get a little bit more stuff. And there's a lot of resources that are over kind of in this general area. There's a lot of stone right there. So having a bridge nearby is going to be very helpful. And it doesn't require iron, so we try to put in stone, which we have, and we got 47 stone. What about the house? Well, don't worry, we're going to be glad to get more stone. So, and we got plenty of logs. So, okay, so we will turn off the planting. Actually, no, we keep it on. Or do I? No, I don't. We'll turn off the planting, and we will cut. I'm getting what I'm saying already myself. So, yeah, so now the forester is, so you can see he planted quite a bit of trees. So now the forester is going to go into cutting down mature trees and such. And we have pears. So the pears are yielding. Very little, but we got some pears. Excellent. Okay, I was afraid that we weren't going to get anything this year. And I understand we're not getting a lot because he's harvesting. But I'm guessing that means that next year we're going to get more pears, because, saying, they're still harvesting the pumpkin field, and boy, are they taking their time. So we got pears coming in, we got mushrooms there, from the gather, and so the guy's harvesting pears. So now, I know you see the guys with the pumpkins with the fork or whatever, the hoe things. You're not going to see the guy harvesting pears because the trees are so dense. He's there because it went down, but and it went down again, but you can't see him. There he is. So he's got 13 pears. So I'm guessing he'll finish up his pear gathering and then wait until next season. So we almost got all the resources gathered to build that bridge, so that they can get over it. I know that was really childish what I just said, but yeah, I'm not going to say anything else. So get that road built a little bit. So what the builders have been doing, what the builders are probably going to do, which irritates me, is, yeah, there he is. He's going to build this road that has no bearing whatsoever on the current project, but, you know, what can I say? I mean, on the bright side, they don't have all the resources there yet, so you really can't see much building, but, you know, hopefully his friend, the other builder, actually will go over there and build the bridge, but no, they're going over there to work, okay. Well, you know, that road had to be built eventually, so I guess we'll get it done now. And look at that done. So we got quite a bit of food actually. Pumpkins to really come through. And we now have 23 pears. And they're finishing up the pumpkins, so that's good. And we got fish, which is great, and we got mushrooms from the gatherer. And I'm guessing there was more than one mushroom. At least I hope so. There was only one mushroom. I think twice to bring that back. Just wait until you get more. And we got 2 wood needed still for that building. Got to run on low logs on this stockpile because this stockpile's got all the logs, which is fine. So, and I think we might get rid of that coal stockpile and just make it a general stockpile for things, because there's so many things being gathered, you know, especially like wood. So the wood would be right there regardless. This, you know, we'll keep the coal stockpile there. Maybe at some point it will help us out. So we got the bridge placed and ready to go, and the workers, the builders, I think, I don't know if they finished that road yet. Somebody's chopping a tree. I can hear it. Oh, that's the woodcutter. So hopefully someone is building this. Oh, you went around. That's nice. That is one of the benefits of having a bridge already over there. Especially if you can get 2 builders there, you the builder. Yeah, if you have 2 builders working from the same side. I don't know why this is. I've actually timed it though. It actually goes quicker. It's kind of strange. Okay, a lot of pumpkins. And I think we're done with the pumpkins, are we? Yes. Okay. We have lots of food, which is good. So like I said, there are bridges that fall, there are trees that will fall at time, and that's an example of one right there. So this project is almost finished. I don't know where someplace warm. Okay, so you're cold. Can't imagine why you were leaving though. For a minute. Hopefully this guy will finish the job. So the reserve of food is low, 247, okay. So this guy's got iron again, or he had iron. Maybe more I don't know. Tool limit is currently 50. More than enough if you don't even have 50 people in the village, and we only have 13 of them working, and not all of them, well actually all of them do need a tool, so yeah. Although you could argue the fishermen don't, they just need fishing poles. But what do I know? So the good thing is there's no food shortage necessarily. You don't see anyone hungry, and you don't see anyone back to fields. Because you might say, well, 65 food, that's barely anything. Well, you have to remember, people have taken food to their homes. So they've taken food home, so the food is in their homes. So it's not like 71 food is all that we have, and people are going to go hungry. You know, it's that that's how much food is in the reserves, in the storage. People take food home, and they eat it there, and they cook meals. kind of like buying groceries in a sense. Now that doesn't mean that somebody with food is just 24 is good. Like, oh yeah, he's like swimming in food. It is worrisome, but on the other side, it is not as bad as it might look. Normally, of course, you want to have quite a high amount of stored food, and the problem that I'm having right now is not during the winter, everyone is fed. It's during the summer when we're growing crops and no one is fed because they ate during the winter and the food reserves have run out or run low. So that is something to think about. That's why you build a gatherer, someone that can kind of, so to speak, hold your people over until the harvest season comes around. And I think, looking at what it is now, Maria, that's a really easy name, that's strange, I'm a little bit worried now. When she turns 7, or Maria, when she turns 7, we are going to activate this crop yield. And I think the pears are going to come back strong this year based on what happened this previous season. So more pears means more food. So there is something to think about that, this field hasn't been producing, but it's going to start producing. So the orchard always takes a long time. Why did you stop building? This kind of bothers me about city building games. It's the same thing in Tropico. There's just one nail left to push in, and someone decides that it's time to go for a siesta, and it's just kind of like, why are you walking away? Why not just hammer the last nail in and finish the job? But I'm not gonna spend too much time doing all that. So now that we got this bridge right here, which is great, I'm gonna have them go over and gather iron and gather stone. So, in fact, let's just have them take out all these resources right here. Yeah. But let's get rid of. Well, actually, let's let it happen. So, the great thing about when you have a very farm-based food source, is that in the winter, and in late autumn, after they've harvested and everything, there's nothing left to do to harvest or plant because it's not time yet. They all essentially turn into laborers. So you see 3 laborers up here, but we have 3 farmers. So essentially, right now we have 6 people doing labor work, and also there are other people that do labor work when they run out. Like when the blacksmith maxes out tools at 50, it'll turn into labor. When the woodcutter, we've gotten work done because the woodcutter has been maxed out. He's not right now, but he's been maxed out at 750 a couple times. So, berries, onions, very nice. Gather. So when he's maxed out at 700 wood, he turns into fish and herbs, nice. He turns into a laborer as well. Now he's got a lot of work to do because he was at 716, now he's at 560. So people needed firewood, and they came knocking. So anyways, we got people going over here now just doing this work. And the great thing about this type of thing is a lot of times when it's cold like this and people are chopping resources like this, they will chop, pick it up, and go. So they won't just chop and leave. They'll pick it up and go. Because I think it's just like, I need to get out of here, we need to put this resource, someone's going to come back across, so I don't know if there's a mechanic where it's like, I need to pick this up because no one's coming back for this because it's cold, it's freezing. Or it's just like, I'm just going to pick this up and get out of here while I still can. No, I don't know if it's out of compassion or the fact that they know if they leave it here, no one's going to get it. So, so it might be compassion. It might be a sense of no one's going to get this. I should just get it myself. So let's get this tree. It's on the shore. Actually, let's leave it. It's kind of nice. There's something to be said about decorative trees or well-placed trees. So the food situation isn't too bad actually. We're at 50, and that is in large part due to the gatherer who's doing the work. So, where is this child? Okay. So she'll turn 7 before long and become a laborer, and then we got a 5-year-old somewhere, right there, Tuckery, and he'll probably be the guy going. We might assign him the quarry job. I'm not sure, to be honest. Because right now there's a lot of things to get in order. What we cut down here, 141. There are a lot of mature trees in this area, so it's not like we're going to be killing saplings, which is good. But forester, that's forester right there. Yeah, he's in purple. He has 3 bodies. So the forester's doing their job, which is good. And people over here are gathering resources as well. So, get rid of that. So we've got 13 iron, which is great, which means he should have resources. I don't know why he doesn't. Someone didn't tell him that there's iron around. And there's iron right there too. So, it says the materials required to perform work are not available. Well, you have the logs. And the iron, go pick it up. Where is the blacksmith, actually? I wonder. The fisherman. The woodcutter. The gatherer. And that's the labor. Sometimes you won't see workers there because they're off doing something. Like, for example, the blacksmith didn't have any resources, so he thought, okay, well, I'll go over and help gather some until some are available. And, oh, there he is. So he went over, and now they are available. So he's coming back now. So he probably will go back to work. One would think, because all the stuff that he needed is now available. So, thing on the woodcutter, yeah, he's got plenty of resources. So. All the firewood over here. So, and if you're generating a lot of firewood or attempting to, like I am, it's a good idea to have a separate firewood stockpile, because eventually you're going to get to a point where this stockpile is full of other resources, and then firewood is not being used, and then it's being left out. And sometimes when resources are left out and they're not designed to, like the mine is designed to do this. It's designed to leave resources. You can't put a stockpile that feeds directly into. Firewood, though, is not designed to do that. So if firewood is left out to the side or something, any resource left to the side of a stockpile that is designed that way, or that comes out of a place that's not designed that way, like someone carrying it there, it can be a problem. Because then it usually never gets picked up. And so there is that concern that there's a resource that never gets picked up. In fact, I'm going to do another firewood stockpile, because that one is getting full, and it's going to get full when we start getting the houses. So there's another one directly behind the woodcutter. So. Now that might cut off some pathways for people. They have to go around now, but we're talking about firewood here, people. So also, if you're not mistaken, I think you can walk right through stockpiles. Anyways, woodcutter now has, and the thing about it is, you can say, well, why did you put the stockpile there? Why not put it somewhere else or something? And that's a valid point. Why not put it somewhere else? And I think actually, what I'm going to do, that's a pretty good point. But the reason I don't put it somewhere else, out of the way, is because the woodcutter, he's going to go to the closest stockpile. So you want to put it somewhat nearby the guy so that he has a place because otherwise he'll start putting it here, and then we have this one being full. And it's not like we're swimming in resources or anything, but there are some places like the main big stockpile that you start with. You want to keep that clear, because that's where any excess resources that happen to be gathered, or to happen not to be near a specialized stockpile are going to go. For example, if you cut down a tree here, he's not going to take it all the way to the log stockpile over here. No, he's going to take it to this one. And if this stockpile wasn't here, the iron would go to here too. So, and so on and so forth. So, there's something to be said about that. And that's why specialized stockpiles are great. That's also a mod too, because in the original base game, nothing but stockpiles. It's just generic stockpiles all the time, all the way. So we got people over here, and we got plenty of iron. So the guy, so he's got the iron and the logs. Is that the blacksmith? He's gathering fuel. Oh, for his house. Okay. So we're at the dead of winter here, and we are at 0 food. which is worrisome, but at the same time, no one's hungry yet, which means the food is stored in their house. Now, if people start to get hungry, that is worrisome. However, when you see the hunger symbol, that just means that doesn't, that is cause for concern because, oh no, somebody's hungry. But you do have a bit of leeway and a bit of grace before people actually start starving to death. And I remember in my early games when I first played this game, I would have, that was my main concern, people starving. Because people freezing to death is a possibility, but it's very, very hard for that to happen unless you're trying to kill them that way. But you should always have a healthy amount of, like for example, I put 100 firewood per house, right? Is that necessary? No. Each house requires maybe 25, at a time. But if you have tons of extra, you never have to worry about that. So, oh look, there are tools lying next to the blacksmith. So, he's making tools. So, food is a little bit different. Food just means that a house, when you see the hunger symbol, it means the house ran out of the supply of food that they brought back home. And now the transition from them being hungry and starving to death takes quite a while. It's never something, that doesn't mean when I see the hunger symbol, I'm like, oh, no worries, they won't starve to death for a while. You never want to see that symbol. You want all your villagers to at all times be fed, contributes to their health, their well-being, their ability to work. And this might sound callous and being like, if you're hungry, you can't work, and then like that's the only reason I'm concerned. I'm concerned because I don't want villagers dropping dead. So because that's just not nice. So the hunger symbol hasn't shown up yet, and when you see it up here is when, because you might see it above a house, but you don't see it up here. That's not a glitch. When it's up here, that's when you really know it's worrisome, because the hunger symbol above a house, why it means it's hungry, it means one person in the house is hungry, not the entire house. Now, if it shows up here, yes, that's an entire household that is hungry. But when it's hungry above one, it's one person that's hungry. And you'll see that hunger symbol above that one person. And they sometimes can get rid of that by satisfying it themselves. It's not very common, but every now and then you will see a villager all of a sudden not hungry anymore. And the food stockpile is still at zero because he's not working and he ate something he saw in the field. Now, that's not a good thing necessarily, because there are times where a villager decides to do that, eats poison berries and dies. And so he didn't die because he was hungry. He died because he was hungry and he had to eat something, and he ate the wrong type of berries. Because he's not a gatherer, whereas your gatherer is somewhat knows what exactly is safety. What we got in here? Fish. So it is good that we have a fisherman right here that brings fish right away. So it's always a good thing. And such. So, as long as you have a slight stockpile of food, you can usually kind of get away with it. Eating fish. I know there's some schools of thought of, there goes the tree falling, of building, some people said building a board house right at the beginnings. It's something that they do when they play Banished, and they said, why did you do that? I used to do board house. And a board house, I'll give you an idea, looks like this. It's a huge house. And there is credence to building this at the beginning when you have the resources to do it. And to even build this when you have nomads coming in. And so that is a possibility. The only problem with the board house is that when you build this and all the villagers are living there at the beginning, like any house, they bring food there because people bring food to their house. The inventory of the house has got food, firewood and such. So the board house, since everyone's living there, all the food gets brought there. And then when you build these houses, the normal houses, and there's still food in the board house, everyone goes hungry, and then people can die of starvation. Because you have tons of food, but it's all in this different house. And the problem is people are still living in the house. So as you're trying to build these houses and get everyone housed out, the food from there is not moving. It's staying there because there's still people living there. And then once everyone moves out, the food in there, while it's still there, not everyone is so eager to go gather it because it's a house and it's not their house because they have a house, which is a coding issue. And probably could, and there are mods that fix it. There's one mod that I think removes the inventory from the boarding house so people can't store food there, which is not a bad idea. But at the same time, I can see how that could have people then dying of starvation. And you have tons of food in the storehouse, but they can't take it anywhere to eat it. So I'm not sure if that's actually a mechanic. So you see mushrooms, roots, and well, there were fish. So yeah, our gatherer is really coming through right now. And there's more fish. He's really bringing all types of different things. And so we're late winter now, and we got the blacksmith really doing a pretty good job. So the food situation has been handled. And I'm going to activate this field the minute this guy is 7, and it will tell you up in the corner has become a laborer. So, also you're wondering, well, why you have 3 laborers? Why aren't why didn't you assign all of them jobs? And the reason for that is that laborers are good to have because you get to a situation where someone dies of from starvation. People can die of childbirth in this game too. So, say one of your female workers dies during childbirth. For instance, it will say the laborer has to replace them. So if you have any of the laborers, stored, then you have places that go without workers. And laborers also do the basic tasks of gathering resources and things, so they're very useful. And when the farm is ready to be harvested, laborers will go and help do that. So so laborers help. So the farmer will do a lot of the work himself, but sometimes a farmer will be moving all these barrels, and he'll take one barrel and will go, and a laborer might come along, take a second barrel, and go up to the storage barn as well. So it doesn't happen often. Usually farmers are doing it all themselves. But the reason farmers can do that all by themselves is because laborers are doing their other jobs, like mining resources that we mark out, and then taking them to wherever they are needed to go. So let's do that. And so that is something to think about. So we're in late winter here. We have 3 laborers, and I want to get to at least spring, and well, not spring necessarily, but at least activate that field and get that going, because why we have no food right now, and we're going to have to hold them over during the summer months, planting and harvesting months. In the end, the end result, so to speak, with 3 fields working in that orchard now producing, we'll have a lot of food to go around, especially because the peppers always seem to do quite well. So, and we're coming into early spring. You can tell from everything becoming green and the chill going away. So we're getting ready here to activate the planting. Early spring will happen very soon. So here we go, late winter, everything's green. We're coming near the end of late winter. Almost has the maximum amount of tools required, so we're at 45 tools right now, 47, and so 50 is where he will stop. And Anna Marie has become a worker. Let's sign a 4th farmer. Well, it is, yeah, okay. So here we go. Get the planting, and the farmers will start to work now. So there's Polly, there are farmers. So we got all the fields activated now, and all the people working. So, here we go. Trees cut down. So and he's reached the maximum amount of tools, and he's reached the maximum amount of firewood. So you see the buds starting to grow on that. I don't know where the farmer is for this particular field. assuming they're coming. Yeah, the thing is, when you actually assume it's been idle for a very long time, sometimes they don't always. I mean, it will plant. It won't do necessarily super well the first year because they're still getting used to it. You see, there is a farmer. There's another farmer, and there's another farmer. Now, I don't know if that guy is assigned to deal with the orchard. The orchard's different, man. The orchard already ready to deal. I think I saw a person walking through there. The orchard's hard to tell, but there's no one working on this field right now, and obviously, based on that farmer's doing, this field needs to be worked on. Get things going. So, by the way, you're saying, well, they see zero yield, that zero yield, why are you hopeful? The yellow bar means that there's something that's growing, and there's going to be a yield. See, 1% yield in the pear tree, in the pear farm already. Pear orchard already. So hopefully I'm thinking we'll get a lot of pears. Now this guy's a farmer and he's working, so now I'm guessing this guy, yeah. So what they do is they just kind of sometimes do some agriculture to make sure that their plants are fully. So now he's working. So now we got everybody in to turn this dealing. I'm guessing the farmer's working there or he's waiting for the rain to do the job. That's the child that just walked out of there. So now all the farmers are working and it's early spring. And we got everyone working, and we also have some things we can chop down and drop over. Where are they on their jobs? So now that we got all this, it's time to start building houses, I'd say. So we're going to build this house first. So there's 2 people working on that. And we'll get this done, and then I'm probably going to call it, guys, once I turn off the cutting. Which is going to get full on spring. So, fix the tools. We got resources coming in. We got food stabilizing, although we have a zero stockpile of food. We got the orchard finally producing, so which is great. So we have pears, people. Pears are coming. Time for more fruit salad. Fun fact about. One, I'm excited that the orchard's finally producing. I have an affinity for food. There we go. And we'll turn off the cutting. Okay, everyone. Anyways, I've enjoyed this episode of Banished. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And this is Russell logging off.